Hi there, thanks for subbing, obviously viewing this video because you signed up. Thank you very much. I'll be sending you newsletters every month full of hints and tips about guitar playing and other videos that non-subscribing people don't get. So thanks for subbing. So this is part 2 to the Chasing Cars video, and as you can see I'm playing some chords, so where I'm strumming more than one string. So I'm going to take you through how to do that. And so let's get started. So the first chord that we make with the "If Only You" part is an A major. Now, as you can see, these are my fingers holding down an A major. Hope you can see that. So I'll take you through what strings you need to be holding down. With your little finger, you need to be holding down the 5th string down, the B string on the 2nd fret. And then with your 3rd finger, you need to be holding down the 4th string down, the G string on the 2nd fret. And with your 2nd finger, you need to be holding down the 3rd string down on the 2nd fret. So essentially, you're holding down a lot of fingers all within one fret, okay? And that should be your A. Make sure you keep your thumb tucked nicely round the back of the guitar, which will help you pinch and press down on the notes. So push down nice and hard. And with your thumb or with a plectrum, I recommend a plectrum for this because it's it can be a little bit shredding on your thumb after a while, but you can try both. You strum the bottom 5 strings. Okay, so that should be an A. If you've got any muting, that sort of sound, and just make sure you're pressing down nice and hard. You've got all your fingers tucked within the 2nd fret and no fingers are where they shouldn't be. Okay, so that's your A. So we're strumming A for 2 bars as 8th beats. So what that means is this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so 2 sets of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, then you're changing to an E. Okay, so to make the E, you take your 1st finger and you put it on the 1st fret on the G string, so that's the 4th string down on the guitar, and press down. Then with your middle finger, your 2nd finger, you bring it up onto the 2nd fret on the guitar on the A string, Eddie 8, and then with your 3rd finger, you're tucking it underneath your 2nd finger on the D string, okay? So this is the sound that you should get. You should need to be strumming all 6 strings with your plectrum for this one. So it's a big, full, bold strum. Okay, so that's the E. And I recommend changing between these chords as quickly as you can as a beginner. You need to be changing between them and just getting the feel of them on your fingers. Okay? At first, you're going to be going 1 finger at a time as you're changing, but the more you change, the quicker this process will get. It's practice. Okay? So E, we hold down for the same amount of time we strum. So it's the same amount of time. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we change to D. Now I'm going to show you a quick simple way of changing to D. So from the E, lift up your 2nd and 3rd finger and then slide your 1st finger up to the 2nd fret, staying on that same string, so that's the G string on the 2nd fret. Then with your middle finger, you're holding down the 2nd fret on the thinnest string, so on the E string. And then finally, your 3rd finger is coming over onto the 3rd fret on the B string. It kind of feels like it's in the middle of your 1st and 2nd finger here. Okay, so it should look like that. I personally believe from teaching a lot of beginners that this chord is the most challenging at the beginning. So that's your D. Now with D, you need to be strumming from the dynamite string down. Okay, so from the D string down. So you're missing out the E and A string. And once again, you're holding that for 2 bars. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. And then after you've done that, you're then returning to the A, the 1st chord, and strumming that for a further 2 bars. Okay. Now in the beginning, as I mentioned, changing chords is going to be a little bit harder to do. So you're going to be tempted to stop your rhythm hand while you're changing chords. But what I suggest is keep your rhythm hand moving, okay? Because that's what keeps the pulse of the song, the groove. And if you're a singer as well, then people are going to be listening to your singing. So if there's tiny little errors, you can be repositioning your fingers, but just keep this hand moving, even though it might not feel natural to do so. Keep it moving, keep the groove going. So let's try that together, shall we? So it's, if I lay here, A. If I just E, here. Then change to D. Back to A. Okay? So practice that as much as you can, just changing between those three chords. Those three chords are just so vital as a guitarist to have those. So E, so A, E, and D, and then back to A. Okay. So just try playing all that through. Now, the next thing is changing between those, the picking. So this is the part at the beginning in part 1 of the video. To the strumming. Now that takes just a little bit of practice, and that's concentrated mainly on your right hand. Okay, so at the beginning of the video, of part 1 of the video, I was teaching you how to do this. Okay, so we're going to be going from this. This is when we return to this note, not the beginning, but the return, and we're going to go from that into the chord. Okay, so we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then you're strumming on the A. Okay, it's important that you hold that for the 4 and before you start, because that gives you time to make the chord. So you're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Finally, just trying to sing it as a little belter. If I just so on and so forth, like part 1 of the video. Okay, so practice changing between those two different techniques on your right hand. So you're going from arpeggiating, picking the notes, to strumming. Okay, so just practice that. That can take a little bit of practice changing between those two. Now, I'm just going to show you how to spice up your rhythm hand for this song, because it can sometimes get a little bit tedious just going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we're going to be doing the same rhythm, but we're going to be adding in some accents. Accents mean we're making that particular beat louder on our right hand. Okay, so the first time through in the song, when we sing the chorus, so we're if I lay here, just do it one more time, just so you can play along. If I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the words? So we're going to proceed, this is the second chorus, so it keeps moving. Get what we're told before we get too old. Show me a garden that's busting into life. Okay, so just as a reference, if you listen to the song and see the song for the actual structure of the song, I'm showing you the different parts. It's up to you just to listen to the song to thread them all together. Okay. So as I was saying, when we do the chord progressions, that's the E, A, E and D and back to A again for the second time, we can spice up the rhythm hand. And let me show you how I'm doing that. So I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So what I'm doing there is I'm just accenting on those beats. If you try to count it like that, so if you count it like a musician, it makes it a lot easier to put it all together. Okay, so I'll just do that for you again slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 a little bit faster, it starts to make sense for the song. So, if I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the words? Okay, so as you can see, I'm just putting little accents there on my right hand, so practice that. That's everything for now. If you've got any questions, then you can email me at druejames, D-R-U-E James, @hotmail.co.uk, and I hope you've enjoyed part 2 of the video. Thanks very much, see you soon.